Hey there, and welcome to today's video. For today's video, you might have already noticed that the video is quite short as well this week. Now you might be thinking, why is that? And let me tell you, just sit down, grab a cup of whatever it is that you drink, whether it's coffee, tea, heck, whiskey, I don't know. But let me just tell you that this was a ride. I had seen on the internet at some point, I believe it was around the time the platforms came out, that you could basically build a room in a way where you could have the bed on top and a bathroom underneath by using platforms. Now, the way that you can make this work, which I find out later, is that you can use the 9 and the 0 keys to move the bed up and down once you have move objects on. I already knew that was a thing you could do. What I didn't know is that you needed to place the bed using that method in particular. So you'll see me trying time and time again unsuccessfully to place the bed simply by using alt placement. Alt placement is another thing that you can do once you turn on move objects. I believe you can do it without move objects, but you have limitations, obviously. Once you have move objects on, you can place it pretty much anywhere. The issue with this method was that you basically couldn't use anything. You made the bed unusable and you made the bathroom underneath unusable. And I kept going again and again and again, just trying to see why this wouldn't work. I don't know if you would call this tenacity or stubbornness, but whatever it was, it took me forever. So even though you're seeing that this video is a little bit shorter, just understand that it took me over 3 hours just to build this. That's why I say I don't know if it's tenacity, I would say it's stubbornness if you ask me. The issue was, it wasn't something that I would consider to be super complicated. There is the issue of how do you finish covering the hole of where the bathroom is. Since at the end of the day, it's not as easy as just being able to put a rug. There's this really weird bug. I don't know if it's a bug or if it's intentional, but basically when you put rugs on a platform and the platform is too close to a wall, it seems to just start disappearing. It stops being a regular rug like you would see in The Sims, and it seems like it's trying to be a texture on top of basically all the items that are placed there. It's really weird. I believe I left a clip at some point so you can see what I'm talking about, but that was basically what took the longest time to figure out. Just that I could use the 9 and 0 keys to actually move the bed. Now, the reason this took so long to figure out was mainly because I just kept testing it by using alt placement, thinking that this was how it was done originally, and there might have been a patch to fix it, or I wasn't sure what was going on. And turns out I just wasn't doing it the right way. So after a lot of trial and error, I finally got to a point where the bed was in a position where it covered the bathroom worked, the bed worked, and now it was basically a matter of building the house around that. I originally wanted this to be a tiny house anyways. I was actually thinking of trying to make something with 15 or less tiles, which I might have been able to still pull it off. As long as you have basically a bed, a bathroom, and a kitchen, you're good. But I wanted it to look a bit more like a house after all the trouble I went through. I tried thinking of this as a big city loft. So basically having as much as you can in as little space as possible, super cramped. I believe this wasn't even 25 tiles. I would have to go back and count it, but I think it ended up being, if not 25, probably 27. I don't believe it was even 30 tiles. Of course, this is not counting the tiles that are outside. Now, outside, I was planning to make this an apartment style. I forgot what I called it. I think I just called it city apartments or just apartments. But at one point, I did build a unit where it was also very small. I don't think. Yeah, there was a couch on that one, and there was even a table, so it was probably just a bit of a better layout than this one. Or it was a bit more tiles in this one. But regardless, I was planning to do this one in a similar fashion where I would basically build a lot of hollow units and then make this seem like it was a giant apartment and whatnot. But platforms are already tricky enough as they are, and I didn't want to risk basically making everything break just by placing this all the way up or all the way down, just putting stuff around it. Anytime you do stuff like that around platforms, they just freak out, and I decided, hey, why don't we leave it this way? And basically just did some landscaping and called it a day on that one. It did still take me over 3 hours, and I admit, a lot of it was just me being stubborn, not understanding what was wrong, and also just trying to go by trial and error instead of just looking it up if we were being honest. But we are close to the end of the video. I did mention that this one was going to be a lot shorter just because of all the time it took me to do some trial and error. But I can guarantee that this house is 100% playtested and 100% works. The bathroom also became a bit tricky since I specifically built it with walls around it. If you don't have at least 1 or 2 walls, you just won't be able to see into the bathroom at all. Granted, it's not like you can see much, but you can see more than you could if it was just half walls. Let's just put it that way. So let me know down below what you think about this video. Let me know what you'd like me to try out next. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great weekend.